Hello everyone, this is Sue from Sue's Paper Creations, and I want to welcome you to a fun little one sheet wonder class where we're going to be taking a 12 by 12 sheet of pattern paper, and we are going to create a fabulous little box as well as a matching card and envelope. So that is going to be today's project. I'm just making sure that I am, oh Lance, I'm just making sure that I have got everybody in the right spot. This is awesome. Okay, we've got Christine, we've got Jan, Gail, Jenny, we have my hubby Lance heckling in there. Perfect. We've got Pam and Joy. This is awesome. So for those of you who were unable to make it to the Zoom that I did a couple weeks back where we did this one sheet wonder project, I thought that I would go live here as well as YouTube so that therefore you can have all the directions to make this fun project and you can make it over and over again for the holidays. So we've got Deborah here, we've got Donna, Carol, we've got Joanne. Joanne, I have to connect with you. I'm so excited that you have joined our little group. That's awesome. And perfect. So it looks like everybody is in the right spot. I'm in the right spot and we're ready to create. So for today, if you had a look at the post that I had posted previously, I think it was last night, you would have a few things ready to go to create this fun project with me. I'm going to walk you through making a cute little box, coordinating card and matching envelope to create this one sheet wonder project. So I hope that you had a chance to get a few things ready to go. If you didn't, I don't want you to panic. Like I said, this video will be here for you to watch the replay if you just want to watch it for now, as well as on YouTube. It looks like Francine is wondering what size the box is and if we can put cards in it. That is a great question, and that did come up when we did the Zoom as well. So I'm going to show you or kind of go over some measurements where you might be able to tweak it a little bit to actually be able to put cards in that box if you want to. Okay, so I'm going to start by just heading down to my workspace. And once again, I want to thank you. I want to welcome you. If you have been and seen one of my lives before, welcome back. If this is the first time that you are tuning in, I want to thank you. This is Sue from Sue's Paper Creations, and I am coming to you from sunny Victoria, BC today. We're having a great sunny day. Okay, if you want to pop in the comments where you are watching from, that would be great. It looks like we have got ladies from East Coast to West Coast in the live today, and perhaps a few from the States as well. This is great. Okay, so as you can see, I have got a few pieces ready to go today. I have got my 12 by 12 sheet of pattern paper, and this piece of paper that I'm using is non-directional. Okay, hello Amber, Kara, Jody, welcome everyone. So yeah, non-directional is always the best when you are making a box, because you don't have to worry about the fact that half of the box is going to be in the right direction and then the other half, your pattern ends up being upside down. So if you can find a piece of paper which is non-directional, that is always the best way to go for these sort of projects if you're doing 3D, okay? Oh, Michelle is still stuck in Mexico. That's a tough place to be stuck in, hey? I hope you're enjoying yourself. A couple extra bonus days, right? Okay, so on top of the 12 by 12, we have got a just regular card base, which is white I'm using. If your pattern base is vanilla, you're going to want to use a vanilla card base. But for me, I'm using white. I am picking out a piece of, this is Pretty Peacock, and this is going to be a layer on the card. It is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. So this here, I'm gonna let you have a closer look at what you're making. So you're making this box. Isn't that cool? And this is a great size box. And then we're making a coordinating card. And we're just picking out, this is the layer here that I've chosen, because on the back of here, I'm just going to show you, is some trees that I'm actually going to use that piece of paper, the opposite side, for this right here. So it's going to coordinate really cool. Okay, and then I've got another sheet of white paper, which is 3 3/4 by 5. So those are the pieces that you will require for your card, okay, to finish off the card. As for the actual box, you don't need anything extra. It's all going to come from your 12 by 12 sheet of paper here. And you're going to also have a little piece left over to decorate up a beautiful envelope to coordinate with your project. It's nice when it all matches, right? For decorating, I've pulled in a couple die cuts. I've got some layering die cuts here, and I've got a couple sizes of the Marius trees that I'm going to be using to decorate up both the box and the card. And then the last thing that I said would be great to have, of course, is some ribbon, because we are going to tie that around the little box, okay? And I just grabbed a chunk that I had left over from class. This is the sparkly kind of velvety ribbon. It's the same color, the balmy blue, and there's got to be at least, there's more than what I need, but I've got a chunk here. You'll need about 20 inches, okay? Just to kind of wrap around the box and then tie a bow, all right? So I'm going to pull in my paper cutter and scoring tool. I have a set of greetings that I'm going to be using, which is the Christmas Classics. And this is the same stamp set that I'm going to be using for my Christmas card or Christmas tag dozen that I have a couple samples to show you, because registration is open for that one for December. And I'm excited to make some tags with everyone. Okay, so let's get everything out of the way, and all we want to start with is going to be our 12 by 12 sheet of paper. Now, I am a very visual person, so therefore I have made a little template here so that you guys will be able to follow along quite easily. And I do see a couple of you are here and you actually did the Zoom where we had a great time. We were able to actually visit and chat as we created this one sheet wonder. So I hope that you're just grabbing another sheet of paper and you're going to create along with me again. Okay. All right. I have my tea I'm drinking as well. I'm having a little London fog in a beautiful, can you see it in the corner? The cutest, beautiful little cup that Tammy dropped off for my birthday, which was in October. And I've been using it for my little afternoon tea. I love it. Okay, so let's get into cutting and measurements. So we start with a 12 by 12 sheet of pattern paper. The first thing that we are going to do is we are going to cut off a 2.5 inch strip of the pattern paper, okay? So I'm going to walk you through it all, not to worry, but I'm going to get my piece of paper and I'm going to start with a 12 by 12. Now, before I cut a piece, do you remember what I told you about for my card? I am going to want to use a strip of paper across my card that is actually from the opposite side. So I have to think about that, even though the box is going to be non-directional. if you have a complementary piece of paper on the other side and you want to use that for your strip, for your focal, for your actual card, then you have to make sure that when you cut your 2.5-inch strip, that it's going to be in the direction that you want it to sit on the card. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in this direction. And even though this is the side of the box, I wanted to make sure that the trees are going to be in the right direction. They're not going to be sideways for my card. Okay, so I'm going in 2.5 inches and then I'm going to cut that first strip. Okay, here we go. Just like that. All right, this piece I'm just going to put aside. We're going to create the card and we're going to create the flap for the envelope out of this piece. This is what we're going to be working on for right now, and this is going to create the actual box. Okay, so we're going to create the box first and then we'll create the actual card. So I'm going to bring in my visual because I love visuals. And I think it helps you, does it not, to be able to actually see this laid out with all the measurements? I hope it does. In fact, some of you may want to take a little screenshot, and you are more than welcome to do that. As I have a little sip of tea here, you can definitely do that, and then you have all the measurements, or you can refer back to the video too. Okay. So I'm going to start by doing some scoring, and I'm going to score across the long side of the piece of paper. Okay, and as you can see, I want to have this so you can see it. There we go. Okay, I'm going to extend my arm. We're getting serious here. Got to get that box out of the way, and we are getting into this, okay? All right, are we ready? So we're going to put our piece of paper into this scorer here, and it's going to be with the long side across the top. I want you to make sure if you are using the Stamp and Trimmer that you have got your cutting blade out of the way, because we do not want to cut instead of score. I know that by experience. I've done it many a time, so I'm sure you all have too. Okay, so I'm going to start with the 1 inch and we're going to do a little score. Now, as we are scoring pattern paper, one tip is be a little gentler with pressure than you would with cardstock. Okay, this is thinner than cardstock, so you want to make sure that you're not, that yes, you're scoring it, but you're
Here's
not,
what I found.
Whoop, but you are not pressing on it hard enough that it's going to actually cut through the paper, right? Because it is a lighter paper. So we've got 1. Now we're going to go 3 inches is our next score line. Okay. So we've got 1, 3. We're going to go to 6.5. So we're going across 6.5. Like that. Hello, Sonia. See you peeking in here. And then we've got 8.5 is our next one. So 1, 3, 6.5. Now we're going 8.5. And again, we're going nice and gently with our scoring blade, okay? All right, that is all that we need. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn it so it's in the other direction, okay? We're going to make sure, do I keep freezing or is it me? I don't see myself freezing on my screen, so hopefully you can all see me okay. I've got the short end now across the top. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in 2 inches from this side and then 2 inches from this side. So I'm going to pop it in from this direction and we are going to go 2 inches. Okay. Now, if you are wanting to be able to create a box in which the cards will fit into, you will have to adapt the sizes slightly so that this width that you have between these score lines is going to be able to handle an A2 card and envelope. We'll do a little test. I know we were a little bit short, if I remember right. This is kind of more of, I think the cards will fit in the box, but the cards and the envelopes will not. So I think it would be a matter of going in maybe 1 3/4 of an inch on each side rather than 2 inches. Okay, that will give you that little extra room. All right, so let's go 2 inches from this side. All right. My goodness, there's sirens going in the neighborhood. Can you guys hear that? Okay. Don't know what's going on out there. All right, so we have got all of our scoring done. We're 1, 3, 6.5, and 8.5, and then 2 inches in from the top and the bottom. Okay, everybody good? Now what we're going to do is I like to take my bone folder and I like to do just a nice gentle burnish of the lines, so therefore I can see where those score lines are, and it's going to make for a cleaner box when you put it together. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and I am going to crease all of these. So I thought that this box, when we were doing the Zoom, we were kind of talking about different things that would fit in here. You could definitely fill it full of treats, that's for sure. But it is big enough that, I mean, you could put jewelry in there. You could definitely put chocolate. You could put some coffee pods in there. I think it would even fit like a couple pairs of socks or a scarf. A lighter weight t-shirt. It's a pretty good size, and it's just nice to have, or unique, I guess, to have the box actually match the card that you're giving with the gift. It's a cool little combination. Now, originally, I made this box and card and envelope. I want to say it was at the very, very beginning of COVID when I started the stamping with Sue's Paper Creations. I started that group as a way for us all to connect during COVID, so we would have a place where we could just create and share. And I went live. I was off work because I work in a dental office part-time and the office was closed. So we were doing creations probably 3 times a week. It was fabulous. It was a great week for us all to connect. And I originally made this back in that group, well, quite a few years ago. The original pattern I got off of watching one of Rhonda Wade's videos at that time, and she just had a great way of using a full sheet of paper and not having any waste, and I love that. Okay, now I am hoping that you have all caught up with all your scoring, all your burnishing. I want you to have your 1 inch score line to your left. And the first thing that we're going to do, and you can see it here, is I'm going to cut out these first little tabs. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut up to this 2 inch mark here where our score line is. And then I'm just going to cut that one little square out of there, just like that. We do not need that, okay? Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut all of the other score lines along the bottom here. And I'm going to cut up to that 2 inch mark, just like that. Okay, so I have got all of these pieces here. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see that? Now we're going to turn it around and we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Hello, Shirley. I'm glad everyone could join me today. And if you're watching the replay, I hope you get a chance to definitely try out creating this little box with the matching card and envelope, because like I said, it's going to be a fabulous little combo for Christmas. I think it's going to be perfect. for making, I always make my Christmas bark. And I often go live each year to create my Christmas bark. I love creating Christmas bark, and I usually put it in a little cellophane bag, but I'm thinking this might be nice in a cellophane bag, but then pop it in here to drop off to all the neighbors, because I usually just do it in a bag, right? But it'd be nice to put it in the box with the matching card. So I think that's what I'm going to be using these for. All right, so let's have a look at our template. We have cut out these pieces. We have cut all of these tabs. Okay, so that's what you should have. This side is the actual outside of the box. So outside of the box is going to be facing up. That's what you want right now. And we're going to start adding some adhesive. Okay, now I like to use, you could use tear tape, definitely. Sometimes I like to use it just for the extra strength of the box. But for something like this, where we're going to actually be overlapping like full sheets, I like to use the liquid Tombow glue, because then I have a little bit of leeway. I don't want to put them together and then have it so that it's not lining up nice and flush. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my liquid. You can see when I line this up that I have got adhesive not on this big tab here, and I don't have it on this piece here. I've got it on the two center tabs. So I want you to go ahead and add a little adhesive on the center tabs, and I'm only going up to, you don't go past your score line. Okay, so you're going to go right here and right here. All right, and then I'm going to be doing the exact same thing on the other side. 1 and 2. Okay, so the center tabs, top and bottom. Hopefully you're all doing well with creating this. Okay, then the next thing what we're going to do is we're going to start putting these together. So it's going to be sticky, it's glue. So what we're going to do is we are going to take this small tab and we are going to tuck it underneath the other tab that has the glue. Okay, can you see that? So I'm going to try and do this so you can see it. Okay, and this is why I like using the liquid, because I can take it off and show you. I've got glue on this tab. This one also has glue, and I am putting this in behind, and I am framing it up nice and flush. Okay, I'm trying not to get my other sticky side in a sticky mess. All right, then I take this tab and I lay it, fold it right over top of the glue. That is going to create our box side. Okay, you see that? I'm going to try and fold the lid back so you can kind of see how that goes together. Okay, so I'm going to do the same with this side. Now that I have got one side done, it's a little less sticky. So I'm going to tuck in my gluey side, my gluey small tab. I'm going to put the large gluey tab over top. I make sure it's nice and flush here at the bottom of the box. And then I'm going to take this last tab and we're going to fold it over top of the glue. Okay. I'm going to frame it up nice. Perfect. And voila, you should have a box. Does everyone have a box? Give me a thumbs up if you have got a box. I'm hoping that that turned out. Because once you make these, it is going to be easy to make these over and over and over again. Okay, I'm seeing some thumbs up. This is awesome. This is good. All right, we have all reached this part, which is perfect. So now you have got the box created. Now, if you are going to put something a little heavier into this and you want it to be a little bit more sturdy, you could always cut just a piece of white cardstock and measure up the bottom here. This is 2 inches, I believe, by, this is where we can find out what this is. I think this is 5. Okay, so it is 5.5. So the question was the cards, right? See how the cards themselves will fit in here? They are a little bit taller than the box. The width is not too bad, but if we were to try and fit the envelopes, that wouldn't quite fit. So what we would have to do is when you go to make the insides this way, you'd have to cut it, or you would have to score, like I said, maybe 1 3/4 instead of 2. And then you would have to change the measurements along here. You would end up with a box that was maybe only an inch deep, like an inch wide here instead of 2 inches, but you would end up adapting it so that the box would, or the cards would fit. So I'll figure it out and I will do another video with that version, an actual card box. Okay, that sound good? We'll figure it out. All right, in the meantime, we have got this one made, which is an awesome little gift box. What I did for this is I just tucked in the 2 flaps, and then I'm going to fold over this edge. This is going to give me my beautiful little snowflake box. Okay, we're going to decorate it up. I'm going to show you another one that I did. Okay, this was before Christmas season, but this is another set that I did with using just some daisy paper as well. Okay, so that would be another way of doing it, just another pattern so you can kind of see. But for all of them, you can see how I have got a piece of ribbon that wraps around the box. So now I want to bring in the ribbon at this point, and I'm going to see how much I need. I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm going to wrap it around the box, and I'm going to end up tying it. I'm going to get one of these out of the way. I'm going to end up tying it at the very front. Okay, so you want to make sure that you do have enough ribbon that you can wrap it around and tie it right here by the flap. Now let me just see. I think that should be pretty good. The thicker the ribbon, unfortunately, the more ribbon that you need to be able to create the bow. If it's really fine ribbon and it ties really easily, then you don't need quite as much. I'm giving myself a little bit extra just because this is thicker ribbon, it's a bit bulkier, and I'm going to go ahead and just tie this just gently. Okay, so I think I have enough. Yep, that's perfect. Now I'm just going to tie it, and I'm going to put it so that it is in the center of the box. Then I can go ahead and I can decorate this box, and then I can always undo the ribbon. Okay, now if you have, or if you're happy with where the ribbon is at, one thing that you can do is you can actually tack down your ribbon just at the front here. I'm going to use a little bit of tear tape, and I'm going to just tack this down in behind, and I'm going to decorate this up so you're not going to see it. But I want this to stay connected to the box so that therefore when you're undoing it and redoing it, my nails are not working with me. When you're taking the ribbon on and off, it still stays connected. Okay, I'm just going to take my layer, got to burnish this. It's a little bit trickier when it's not right flat against your work surface. There we go. That's why I love my extra little arm here, my extra hand. Okay, so I'm just tacking that down right there. Perfect. Now I can go ahead and I can decorate this up. So this is where, I mean, after you can get creative and you can pick out some die cuts, some greetings, and you can make this your own, make it beautiful. And then if you want to post it in our little comments, then we would all love to see what you come up with. I'm going to layer up some pretty peacock, just like I'm doing on the card. So I'm making this so that it matches the card. I've got a little bit of pretty peacock layer here on a die cut, and I am putting that down. I've popped it up just a little bit. So that's a little focal point there. And then I've got a nesting piece here that I'm going to stamp a little tidings of comfort and joy, I think is what I'm going to put on here. So I'm going to put this greeting on the actual box. So let's see. I haven't used that one yet. I'm going to be using that on one of my tags for our tag dozen as well. Okay, so I'm going to go with the Pretty Peacock just so that it ties it all together. And I'm going to have a look and see when I go to do my decorating, I'm going to want to put a beautiful little Christmas tree on this side. So I'm going to make sure that my greeting is off to the side just a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to put it off to the side so that I can add that Christmas tree. And I have just cut this out of the Merriest Trees. It is, I think, the third smallest. So it's kind of the one that's in the middle. There's 5 different sizes. This is the middle size. And it's perfect for the height of this. I didn't want to go any higher. Otherwise, it would get in the way of the rest of the box. I'm going to add dimension to this as well, just because it's a box and you can do that. You don't have to worry about having extra layers popping up when it's on a 3D project that you're not mailing, right? So I take advantage. I'm going to pop up my tree too. 2, 3. And then I think I'm going to need definitely, I'm thinking I might just go like plain rhinestones and make it nice and sparkly. But there is kind of the little bit without all the sparkle. I got to add the sparkle to the box first, or to finish it off. But that's kind of the baseline for it there. We've got our greeting. We've tacked down our ribbon. Okay, so there is the box all done. Like I said, I'll add the sparkles later, but I want to bring in this sheet of paper, and I want to bring in our layers for our card. And we're going to quickly create the card using the opposite side, just like that. Now, let's see here. Get up there. Just had to help one little doggy up the stairs. All right, so for our card, you have a couple options. You could either put the pattern paper flush. We're going to be putting it onto this white layer, and you could put it flush along the bottom like this, or you could put it into the center. Okay, so there is a sample with it in the center. Here is a sample with it down towards the bottom. So totally up to you. I mean, if you wanted to, you could put it sideways as well. This is your creation. Like I said, your creation. You could also make it so that it goes this direction if you want it, and do the card in the opposite direction. Okay. I'm going to go for this way, and I'm going to put it in the middle because I've got a couple trees that I want to be able to fit onto the front of this card once we get our greeting on there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a little glue. Just like that. And we're going to put it across. Perfect. We're going to glue it. All right. Now I'm going to do a little flip and trim. That's my technical crafting term. A little flip and trim. Okay. So there, now we've got our piece of pattern paper. It goes perfectly. I love this sheet because the snowflakes are great for the box, but then you have those exact same snowflakes in amongst the trees, and we have a chance to decorate up the card. I'm going to use just a smaller piece of white for this one. I'm not going to double up the layers. I'm just going to use the white, and then I'm going to pull in, I think we're going to go a larger pretty peacock tree and then just a smaller little white one on this side is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to stamp a greeting on this one, and I think for this one I'm going to do a Merry Christmas. Let's see here. How is everyone? Creations coming along. I hope that this is easy enough to follow, that you guys will be able to definitely duplicate this project again and again. Okay. All right, so let me just see here. I'm going to do my Christmas here, and I've got the Merry and then Christmas. So let's take, again, I'm going to use the pretty peacock, I think. And I'm going to do Christmas down here. Love that script. So pretty. And then I'm going to take the Merry. Kind of a big block for this, but that's okay. And just have to decide where I want to put this. Do I want to put it over here? I think I'm going to do it this way. Off to the side here a little bit. Just like that. Merry Christmas. That is perfect. Okay. So there we have got our Merry Christmas. So I've got my piece that I'm going to be putting on there. I want to add a little layer, and this was the layer of the cardstock, the colored cardstock. See how that just pulls it all together nicely. I'm going to add my glue and pop it in just like that. Now, when I think of snowy, I think of, I gotta see if I have it hidden around here. I do. I think of kind of things being a little more whimsical. So I happen to have in my stash just a scrap piece of vellum. And when I'm working with things with snow and different layers, especially a pattern like this, sometimes I like to blur or tone down the backdrop a little bit. So I'm actually going to put a piece of vellum down before I put this little greeting on here. So it's going to take the busyness of the pattern away from the backdrop, and then I can bring those trees alongside of the greeting. I'm just going to tack it down with a little piece of tear tape, and then you'll have more attention on those trees. I think it'll come together nicely here. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue this down fairly flat. Because I'm putting it on the vellum, I am going to use again some tear tape, and I'm going to put that over top, because it's hard to use that liquid glue with the vellum. You have to use more like a glue dot or your tear tape. You could even use your tape runner, works. Okay, so I'm going to just center that over top of the vellum like that. Okay, then I'm going to pop out my Christmas trees. Isn't that cool? So now those Christmas trees, even though you have trees in the backdrop, it allows these trees to stand out a little bit more and not get lost in that backdrop, because you have that vellum as something to kind of ground it by. I'm going to put this one right over here. I think we definitely need some sparkle, some bling on this. I'm going to put this one down just like that. So there, now we've got our trees. I did add, after I die cut these trees, I did add a little bit of texture to them just to make them stand out a little bit more. And then we're going to frame it in that nice white frame. And I am going to go get some rhinestones, and we're going to finish this off with some sparkle. So as you can see, the card layout is quite simple, and you can definitely dress it up a little bit more by adding a bit of vellum, adding some layers, some textures, some die cuts to it. But the fact that, look at how well those go together, as giving it as a gift, it's going to be perfect. Now I want to get let me see which embellishments. I'm thinking because, oh, this might be kind of nice. I am going to use these ones. I was going to use just plain rhinestones, but I think I'm going to use these beauties right here because they've got a nice clear sparkle and they've got this beautiful blue in here as well. So I'm going to use this one, I think. So let's just sparkle it up just a little bit. And I'm going to add a little sparkle even to, we're going to do one on the tree. And then maybe a little baby one up here like that. And I think that that is perfect. Now with this one, again, we'll add just a little bit of sparkle, one on the vellum, like that. Maybe another one down here, maybe on this white tree. I think that looks pretty, just like that. Okay, now we're not done yet. We have got a naked envelope. Now, did I bring an envelope with me? Let me grab one. There we go. We cannot have a naked envelope, especially when everything else is so beautifully coordinated. So this is where you have got this last little strip of beautiful paper. You can choose either the trees or you can choose the snowflakes. I'm going to do a little combination. I'm going to have a look here. Oh, I think this is going to be perfect. So I'm going to use the trees on this flap. So all you have to do is add a little bit of glue to the flap, and then you can lay this over top just like this. And I put it butt it right up against that crease or that score line to the top of the envelope there, just like that. Then I'm going to cut this, but I'm going to decorate this a little bit more. I don't think I'm done yet, just because I have more paper and I don't want to waste it. So we're going to add a little extra detail, okay? Because that's what we do. Look at that envelope, fabulous. Now I'm going to take this piece, I'm going to bring in my cutter because I want to use as much of this as I can. And I am just going to cut a strip off here. I've got still about a ½ inch. So I'm going to cut that off. And because we want everything to coordinate so beautifully, and the box itself has this pattern and the card has the opposite pattern, I'm going to open this up and I am going to add this pattern just down here on the inside so that it ties everything together. Okay, and I'm using all the goodness from this piece of pattern paper. So I'm using up as much as I possibly can for this one sheet wonder project. So you're getting all of these beautiful details out of one sheet, and do a little flip and trim. And all that we have left is these little tiny scraps. That is it out of the whole sheet. Now, if you really wanted to get picky about it and try and use these up, I'm sure that you could create like a little tiny tag or something to go on the box if you wanted to, or add a little bit more of a detail or use it as like a seal for your card, right? You could always put it over the seal with a little tiny tree, which would be cute, right? You could get crafty, I am sure, and come up with something with those little pieces. But I think we've done quite well with having this one beautiful box, which, like I said, it fits. It's a fair size, so you can fit lots of goodies in there. I'm going to be able to fit lots of Christmas bark in there. I'm just going to wrap it in some cello first, but that will be perfect. And then you have got this beautiful card that coordinates. We pulled in that extra little bit of pattern paper that was left, so it coordinates here. And you could be just like this one, although I think I did it on this one too. I did. This one I didn't flip the sides of the paper. I just used all the exact same size for the box and for the card, but I still used a tiny bit left of that paper just to add some detail there. And this, oh my goodness, what is this one called? I'm trying to think. The flowers. Anyways, it's our online paper right now, so it's online exclusive. But this paper, these actually images came out of the paper, and I just fussy cut them. This one was a piece that was on the edge, so again, using all of the bits from every paper that I can. And then this one, same thing. We have got the box with the flowers. This one I didn't use that extra little bit, but I'm sure I could have. And we have got matching envelopes for these as well. Okay, so there you have it. So whether you make it for a birthday or you start creating so that you have perfect little boxes to give away some Christmas baking like I'm going to do, I think this is a really cute project and easy enough to make several, and a way to use up those 12 by 12 pieces of paper that I know you guys all have stacks of them in your craft room. So grab a sheet and give it a try. Grab a couple sheets. In fact, if you're doing one, I often like to, thank you, Judy just chimed in. This is the translucent florals. It was on the end of my tongue, but it just couldn't come to me. That is the online paper. It's beautiful. But, you know, if you're going to do this, you could definitely do a couple sets at a time. Next time I'm going to get a full package of paper, and you could make 12 boxes with their matching cards and envelopes all ready to go. So you have 12 boxes to fill with all of your Christmas baking or little gifts to give to coworkers, give to neighbors, all that sort of stuff. Because I don't think there would be a pattern paper that wouldn't look fabulous when it all coordinates. Okay. All right. So I am going to actually, while I'm here, maybe I'll show you a couple things. Now that we've done our little one sheet wonder, I'm just going to quickly show you 3 of the tags that are in my Christmas tag dozen. So I am going to be creating 6 of them. These are 3 of them. So you get to join in December if you'd like. I have got a link in the description which will take you to an area where you can join up for my December Christmas tag dozen. And we are going to be making 6 different tags. These are 3. You get to make 2 of each to make your dozen tags. I am going to be featuring all the greetings in this Christmas classic, but you can also use whatever Christmas greetings that you have. In your kit, I will have all your pieces pre-cut, so you just have to do your stamping and assembling. You will get 5 yards of this red ribbon, 5 yards of this beautiful ribbon as well, and you will get a full package of embellishments. So you get $25 worth of product, and you get all of the pieces to create your tags. You get to join me if you'd like in December. It is the first Monday in December, and we put these together at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, or you can use a full instructional video if you'd like as well. On top of that, I do have the option to add on the stamp set that I feature as well. If you need more than 12, you can sign up to get an extra 12 prepped tag pieces, so you can actually make 24 tags instead of 12. Okay, so this is in that little link. It takes you to everything I've got going on, and this is December's Club Christmas Tag Dozen. So if you want to join me, registration is open till the 10th of November, and you can sign up for that one. The other thing I've got going on is this fabulous, the Rustic Countdown Advent Calendar. For anyone who wants to grab one of these, I am going to put together a Zoom class on Saturday, November the 18th at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, where again, we can all come together on Zoom, so we get to chat as we put these together and have some fun, and we get to create this great little advent calendar that we have got for this year. So you make all of these little envelopes. I'm going to hang them either on some garland or directly into the Christmas tree when it goes up on December 1st. And it has all the pieces that you need to create all 25 of your envelopes. It is a fantastic kit. It is $26 plus shipping and handling. And then you can join me if you'd like on November the 18th. If you want to create it together, we can you can hop on and you can join me. Directions are really easy. You could always pop it together on your own, but if you want to have company, we love to craft with friends, right? You can join me on that day if you want to grab one of those kits. Okay. All right, everyone. So I am just going to change my camera here. There we go. I'm going to get rid of that. Oh my goodness. Look at the sunbeam that's coming in. I have to block it out of the way right now. So I hope that I'm going to go to this side. There we go. I hope that you guys enjoyed creating that box with the card and the matching envelope. I hope you'll give it a try. I have a couple other projects that I'm going to be popping on and doing definitely in the next month to get you ready for your Christmas shop or your Christmas wrapping and your tags, maybe even some table favors that you can put on the table at Christmas. So there'll be lots of stuff coming up as we lead up to Christmas and the holidays, and I hope you will join me. Like I said, if you want to join me for one of the classes, you can definitely do that as well. Okay, once you finish off your little box and your card, if you want to pop it into the comments and share that, I would love to see what you come up with, and I will enter your name into a draw for a package of embellishments. Okay, all right, everybody, take care. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I hope to see you on Thursday morning, bright and early, 6:30. I'm going to hopefully get back to that. If not, I will probably see you sometime before then. We'll see. We'll see how if I get up to some crafty things I want to share, which is always a possibility. So make sure you tune in, and I will see you then. Okay? Thank you. Take care, everyone.